here. I'm gonna try to pull up that comment. Let me see if I can pull it up. There was a comment. Let me see. Somebody was here defending. I do that once in a while. I just do comment reaction. If I see a comment that's inflammatory enough, this was about Emeka Ike. Okay, so Emeka Ike, the person was here. I guess they were trying to defend Emeka Ike, and some of the most dangerous ones that defend Emeka Ike are the subtle ones, the very, very subtle ones, the one that claim that they are being non-biased. They tend to claim they are not biased. Okay, that's the ones that we actually have to be careful with for the most part. And there was a person that came by, and the person said, you just believing everything she said, something to that effect. You just believing everything that she said. So I'm gonna try to see if I can pull that up, and then we're gonna go through it in a few minutes. Then we're gonna get to the story of the day, which is trending everywhere, and then see if we can extract any lessons from that as well. This is all. So many people were reacting to so many stuff over the weekend. Shout out to all of them now. I was resting. I was getting a lot of response. Where is it? Okay, I think I can find it in my studio. Let's see if I can find it in my studio. So the person came, and the person was like, "Oh, you're just taking sides, or you're just believing everything she said." Okay. Now keep in mind that we're talking about Emeka Ike. Emeka Ike is an actor from Nigeria, a 90s actor who just got brought back. Unfortunately, he didn't know how to handle the press attention he got. He decided to drag his family. And then the ex-wife who left his house 10 years ago decided to respond for the first time in 10 years. Meanwhile, he's had multiple interviews where he addressed her and called her all types of names, accused her of blackmailing him and all that kind of stuff. He had an interview on Robin Mind on Channels TV, and we basically from the get-go said this guy is capping. Okay, because there's a pattern to how controlling people with controlling and manipulative behavior, there's a pattern to how they behave. Where's this thing? No, don't do me like this. So I will find it. I must find it. All right, let me see. Let me close some tabs here. You guys are not in a rush, right? Okay. I'm just being conscious of your time. That's all. Just being conscious of your time. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. So the comment is deep all the way down there. I'm trying to see if I can find it. So the person came here anyway and just started replying with me back and forth. I pay attention to the comment. I respond to. At this point, I'm responding to everybody. We're not that big, okay? I'm responding to everybody that needs response. I'm basically acknowledging everybody and their comments and stuff like that. I actually enjoy reading your comments because it helps me shape some of the thoughts that I bring into this conversation as well. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I see a comment here. Let's just do comment reaction. Somebody said, "Please don't allow your children to be part talk about the father outside. Madness everywhere. Look out what is happening." That is a person that's taking sides with Emeka. We can tell. Okay, we can tell. All right. Listen to this carefully. Okay, this is just one I'm seeing in passing now. Okay, I think I found the username of the person I'm looking for. Maybe I can use that to find it. Okay, but this person here says, "Please don't allow your children to be part talk about the father outside. Madness everywhere. Look out what is happening. Now, there's context to this. The person that they're referencing as a child is not a child. That's a grown man who felt the need to protect his mother. He insisted on supporting his mother when the mother was going on an interview, particularly because he has experience, similar experience with his father. So he said a little bit. He actually chose to protect his father. But a lot of people that are saying this, they didn't really listen. Some of them didn't listen to the interview. Some of them listened and they are coconut head and they're stuck in their ways and their mindset. And they will repeat that same thing in their own life because they're stuck, right? So, and that's why we're covering this. We're not covering this just because it's gossip. We're covering because there are lessons in this for everyone. Then he says, fresh and fit are serious red pill guys with little understanding. Absolutely. With a lot of quote unquote paper truth and 20% poison. Any man who follows them will collect. It's a matter of time. If they didn't already collect, meaning they are perpetuating their trauma, right? Adibusala said, you don't need to hear the wife's side of the story to know that something aren't adding up in Emeka's story. Exactly. Except, of course, if you are not a critical thinker, you know. If you're not a critical thinker, if you have no ounce of emotional intelligence, then Emeka will get away all day long because, you know, feel sorry for him because he got cancelled for no reasons. We didn't need to see all the reasons before we know that. No, this guy, he's calling people manipulative, but he's manipulating us. It's literally manipulating us, okay, in real time. I'm closing some of these pages because it's slowing me down, essentially. Let me see. Okay, I think I can. All right, good. All right. So, so this person said, please don't allow your children to be part talk about the father outside. Madness everywhere. Look out what is happening. We did. You're not looking out. Okay? Okay? There's a lot of manipulative, controlling behavior rhetoric in everything he said on the first interview. Right? But probably because you're also manipulative and controlling, you can't pick it up. But some of us can pick it up, okay? So I answered the person, I said, I agreed. Was there a child on the story? I asked the person. Also, what are your thoughts about a man talking bad about their ex-wife from 10 years ago online, even when they are telling the truth? Thoughts? Question mark? No response. I didn't get any response on that. All right, and now the person that I'm looking for actually came to the comment and said exactly why. Because they found somebody that agreed with their own belief system. Now, some people will misinterpret what I'm saying right now as I'm not allowing other people's opinion. No, I'm just giving my own opinion. And you can wait. You can be patient too and wait if my opinion becomes your reality in the future. It probably will. Okay, you can also wait for that. Let me see here. I think I might be able to find it this way. I don't know. Hey, how can I find this thing? No. Let me try this other way. Very, very important. I must cover this today. Pardon me. Stay with me. I must cover this today. Let's see. Okay. We must. Oh no. Let me see here. Contain public subscriber. So all right. Let me try one more thing. I'm gonna try one more thing and take it from there. Maybe I won't be able to cover it. Jesus Christ, where is this thing now? Okay, this is too far in the past. Here's a sociopath. Many sociopaths in the community sad. Papa behaving like a minor. Emma's got court documents to back her up, so I don't know what Emeka is trying. Yeah, there's no. I'm not even sure if there's any kind of case that they can pull. There's really nothing there, you know. There's really nothing there. I'm gonna find it. Just give me 1 second. I'll find it. I see Juliana says, I learned a lot from this channel and get entertained as well. I appreciate your objectivity. Shout out to Juliana. And I see Mercy Ike'S says, I like this channel because I always neutral. I just subscribe. Shout out to you. Okay, so now my intentions, Adetone says, same here. He's full of wisdom. I'm here for. My intentions is not to be neutral. I actually want to stand on something. Okay, but I know what you guys mean, which is neutral with regards to the parties involved. Yes, I try to be that. But there's an actual side I'm taking here, which is your side. I want you to take something away from these lessons and apply it in your own personal life. While men date for sex, not for love. Wahala. Let's see. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Hold on. I will see. It's the only comment where I went back and forth with the person for a while. Okay. Somebody said, mind your business. Leave Emeka Ike and family alone. That's a person taking sides with Emeka Ike. Okay. They can't even, they tell on themselves because they're speaking from a place of emotions. They can probably relate. And there was another comment of somebody who can actually relate, who actually learned a lot. If I find it, I'll also read that in a second. Shout out to Florence. Answer that person. Say, Emeka brought it out to the public, so we won't leave him alone. Wahala. Bass boos. Okay, I saw the other one from earlier on. Let me see if I can. All right, hold on one second. Let's see. I think we're close. Somebody said, wasn't the marriage mutually beneficial? Which one is, I gave you the opportunity to be my wife? Somebody said, that part shocked me too. Let's see here. Almost there. I'll find it. Okay, I found it. Okay, so I'm going to read to you. Yes, I did, Adebusola. But I'm using the device right now, so it'll be hard for me to go in there. Anyway, so it says, but it actually went longer than what I posted. It actually went longer than that. So this person said, you're just accepting her version based on the interview without scrutiny. How many episodes of Emeka Ike have we done thus far? How many episodes have we done on this platform? Okay. I know that we don't, I guess that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I'm scrutinizing her side, right, B? Okay, Emeka Ike, it looks like we've done 16 videos, right? 16 videos. Now, if you haven't seen all 16 videos, you can't claim that I didn't scrutinize her. You can't claim that. You have to have seen all of them first. Okay. But anyway, let me keep reading. So the person say, hold on, wait. I just lost it again. No, I did not lose it. I better find it. Wait. Jesus. Don't do me like that. So where is it? Jesus. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'll find it. Did this thing scroll by itself or something? Hold on 1 second. Because so sorry for this terrible experience today, guys. So sorry. We're just coming back. New Year's. That's all. I think it's a New Year thingy. We're just coming back. So I'm a little clumsy. Usually I'm faster than this. Okay. I have to scroll back to it. So apparently it jumped back up or something when I left the page. Let's see. Okay, I found it. Now I gotta stay on this page. I have to stay on the page. So he said you're just accepting a version based on the interview without scrutiny. So I answered the person. I said, what did she say in her version that you disagree with or would like to scrutinize? Do share, please. The person said, rewatch both versions and the third version by the PA, Debola, with your critical thinking hat on. Okay, so the person is accusing me of not having critical thinking now, right? It's the same thing as Emeka saying that don't, like, these women are manipulative. It's the same thing essentially. Okay, so I tete mole ole moloko. You ever heard that before? If you're a Yoruba person, you must have heard that before, right? I tete mole ole moloko. And me, I'm not trying to mole. Me, I'll just ask you a question. If you can answer the questions, we can have a conversation. And which was the point of my question, which is, what did she say in her version? Now, he sent me back to go and watch the version. Now, I've done 16 videos. I think I've seen all versions, you know. I think I was about to say common sense would tell you I probably have seen all 16 videos, but common sense is not common. But also common sense is a terrible guide, right? Okay, so by the way, PA Debola, with your critical thinking hat on, probably you'll understand how to read between the lines. Now that's an insult, okay? But I didn't take it as such. I didn't take it as an insult. I said I have watched all of it. Can you answer the question, or no evidence? Can you tell us how Emeka was blackmailed at least? Do you know the senator? Don't run, no. Please, let's critically think together. This is me talking. I said, please remind me where she needs to be critically scrutinized. Body language, bringing a child to the interview, because I know he's probably going to go there, right? Or lying about being punched in the mouth, because she said that, right? That's one of our accusations. Please do share so we can think critically together. Okay? Then I went on to say, highlight areas you think she's being truthful about, what led to the separation, and what makes you believe her version, so we can, what makes you believe his version so we can critique them. No. He's asking me, he said, highlight areas you think she's being truthful. He said I should highlight the areas where I think she's been truthful about, what led to the separation, and what makes you believe her version so we can critique them. So he's playing games, and he forgot that this is my YouTube channel, which means I'm the one who is actually running the business here. Gentlemen, small things like this is how I know if you're lame or not. Small little things like this. Okay. So I'm asking the question now. Okay, if you're brand new here, you might not know that I'm asking the question and you answer. Once you answer, then you can ask a question and I will gladly answer it. You know. All right. So, and I said, I see, so no evidence. Shake my damn head. Thanks for the comment though. All right. And he goes, you're welcome. However, I don't take sides. And he goes on to take side. Well, let's see. I think it's best to think what's best for their children. All right. So the original question was children, exactly. Tell us. Okay, so I guess he's finally coming around, trying to tell me what the lessons should have been, or maybe he's just trying to tell me what side he believes in, or he's trying to take it to the court. You know, they always say let's think about what the court would think. You know, even though this is not the court, this is real life. In the court we actually yield to real life, because if you don't get evidence, you go shalaye tired, even inside court. So he says, you're welcome. However, I don't take sides. I think it's best to think what's best for their children and not get them entangled with this. Anybody who is talking about the children, who makes the children a point of contention in all this Emeka, they've taken sides with Emeka, okay? Or they are fake playing, no bias. It's fake, okay? It's fake. You cannot play no bias. It's impossible, okay? Shout out to D-Love. Happy New Year. Right? I've said that a few times here. Everything starts from the leadership. Is a downstream effect. Everything in life has a hierarchy to it. Literally everything. No matter how much you play equality, no matter how much you play equal on both sides, or let's be fair, everything in life everything has to yield to some form of hierarchy. Okay, that means there's cause and effect for everything in life. That means if you are trying to solve a problem from a point of the effect, you will always fail. Okay, it's an oxymoron. Okay, to some extent, you can trace all the causes back, right? but you better trace at least 2 levels backwards, right? You better, because you're going to be, you know what they call fetching water inside a basket. You just be fetching water inside a basket, right? You'll be draining right off. You're creating more problems. That's why we always look at the head. What did the head do to create all of this chaos, right? Now, we can hold the chaos accountable in certain respect, but you can't just jump to there and not mention that at all. If all you're doing is mentioning just I start looking at you funny, because you probably don't know what you're doing in your own personal life, especially if you claim to be a leader. Okay? And there are some people that are just fake playing equality, okay? Because it actually doesn't exist. Clearly, Emeka Ike'S started all of this, okay? And it's not a matter of blaming him. It's just the reality of what we see in front of us. So if anybody is going to solve for what's the problem, you have to solve. You actually have to solve it. You can't just look at the symptoms and say, "Oh, the symptom is the problem." But you could just be messing with the wound. The wound will never heal. So he says, both parents aren't together anymore. They both. Anytime you're hearing both this, both that, both here, both there, that both thing is fake. But it's fake, non-biased take on these issues. Pay attention to it when you see them. Okay, it's not always the case, but oftentimes when you hear people say both this, both should, it's a useless advice. Okay, because at the end of the day, you can only control yourself, and you have the power of influence over other people. That's the reality. Okay, that's the reality. No matter how much we try to play fairness and all this kind of stuff, you can only control yourself. And your point of leverage is always going to be starting with self. Right? That's it. There's no way around it. Okay? Now, you can hold some people accountable. You can call people out for bad behaviors and stuff. But there's only so much you can do that. Okay? At least make sure you've held yourself accountable before you're doing that. Okay? So in this case, not ourselves, we're talking about where did this start from? It started 15 days ago, okay? And then it created a downstream effect. And then when we look at everything else, these people were basically, they are sleeping line dogs. Nobody was bothering them, right? Hold on 1 second. Let me get them to us here. All right. So that's how this works. That's how life works. The book has been out since on the 30th. I need your reviews, D-Love. I need your reviews on it as soon as possible. It's everywhere. The book is everywhere on the internet. Particularly at number1redflag.com. You can see the link to all of the different places where it's at. D says straw man argument. The points and lessons fly over their heads. They will argue based on preconceived notions, exactly, as opposed to the actual issue being discussed. That's how you know she's Jamaican or Nigerian. Shout out to you, D-Love. Yes, the book is everywhere. Oh, you ordered 3 copies for you and your folks. Shout out to you, D-Love. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Ordered in, yeah. Not here yet. Oh yeah, it's gonna take time. Yeah, it's gonna take some time to get shipped to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. The books, you can access the book from everywhere through number1redflag.com. Okay. Fresh Loriba. Let me continue this lame argument here. That thing don't jump again. Okay, it's there. It didn't jump. Okay. Yay. All right. So he goes, it's best for the son and other children to gain from both parents. What does this have to do with the issue? And not for the boy saying on international platform that he doesn't need anything from his dad. There was a question that the boy was answering. Let's pretend that the boy was not answering a question. Abby, The boy was actually answering a question. He said, "What do you need from your dad?" Right? And I said, "Nothing." He said, "I'm dead to that man." That's what he said. There's a context to what he's saying. Should we just pretend that there's no context to what he was saying? I'll be argument or you know. You come to the show to see my face, all right? But in the comment, I'll be nice. But on the show, you see how I really feel about this kind of stuff. Okay? This can't be real. There can't be that many people arguing the same argument. It's like about 50% of people arguing the same argument everywhere. Many of them being women, by the way. Right? We covered the Auntie Ebere story here, right? Oh, Lord. It took everything in me. So he goes on to say, it's only not the boy saying on the international platform that he doesn't need anything from his dad. It only makes me wonder if he really knows what's best for him. Forget Emeka Ike and his child and his wife. Do you know what's best for you? Especially if you're a man arguing this type of ridiculous argument. Do you understand that you don't have the luxury of fairness in the real world? Do you understand that? Or you don't know this? Hold on 1 second. He says none of us was there to know what actually happened between the parents. We don't care what happened between the parents. We're just addressing what was said into the public. What was said into the public is probably a good reflection of what's going on inside. All right. My children, they always try to test me. Right about on the side. They literally test me. All right. None of us was there to know what actually happened between the parents, but gleaning from the interviews and the wife's uncorroborated witness testimony. This obsession with witness is getting worse by the day. This is not your court. This is real life. You're not going to have time for witnesses. You need to see. You're going to have access to limited information in front of you. Okay? You're going to have access to limited information always in front of you. Like you're going to have never enough information, quote unquote, depends on your outlook on life, right? You're going to feel like there's not enough. We need the second side of the story. In life, you're not always going to have access to that. Can you make some well-informed decisions off of limited information? That's leadership. That's leadership. They're always testing me. I don't know what I did to these people. And they know what time it is every time. I seem like there's a whole rest of the house that you can hang out. Anyway. So no, you're not always gonna have access to that. Even the courts that they tend to quote most of the time will not always have access, which is why that's why we pray that prayer all the time. Kama Riakuba, right? Because there are people in jail for things they didn't do because there simply wasn't enough evidence or quote unquote witness. All these lingos that is not really applicable in the grand scheme of things. They put those things in place. They put those things in place to help make it as fair as possible. But the key word there is not fair. It's as fair as possible. It's like a phrase. You have to pay attention to that. Even the legal practitioners, they know this, right? So always talking about witness, and we don't care about what the witness said, because the witness also will be scrutinized. We will screen it with how we feel, literally how we feel, because it's not the courts anyway. Okay, and how do I feel about P.A. Adebola? It's useless testimony. The only mistake she made is mention his name at all. That's the only witness. I'm not going to count that against her. Okay, if anything, I'm going to count that as, who is this? I beg. Never mind. Let's just look at the information we have in front of us. She's holding herself accountable. There's zero accountability coming from this side. There's no way I can give credibility to a person that has zero accountability coming from their side. And it's no way I'm going to be now blaming the quote-unquote child who is a grown man. It doesn't make any sense. All right. Let me see here. So he goes on to say, none of us were there to know what actually went down, what actually happened between the parents, but gleaning from their interviews and the wife's uncorroborated witness testimony that she's not entirely truthful. We actually don't care about the truth, because we know that the truth is a function of time. You know, the only truth we have right now is the results, which is this man is dragging his family on the internet, and his family is literally trying to save him. That's the only truth we have. We don't know the absolute truth. None of us know that, but we don't need to know that. That's actually irrelevant. That's irrelevant. And it's irrelevant to the lessons that we should be learning from this, okay? And I find hard to believe her testimony if her witness testified against her. This whole submission is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Brother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not relevant. This is not the court, okay? I need you to feel the heat of that. This whole submission, especially the witness and the corroboration and all that, is stupid, okay? That's truly how I feel about that. Yeah. Because in real life, you're not going to have time for that oftentimes. And you will never have access to the unrealistic obsession with fairness. All you can do is learn all your leverage points and make them push in your favor as much as possible. So even when there's small mistake, you have some time, you have some room, wiggle room, right, to adjust. Because unfortunate situation is going to happen to all of us. Yeah, unfortunate meaning like it wasn't even your fault. It's going to happen to all of us. Okay. So I replied, I said, unfortunately, there is no court. So witnesses are irrelevant since none of them are getting judged. We just want to extract relationship lessons from what we can see with subject direct expression from a power, not fairness standpoint. If you reread your last comment, there's an obvious disregard. There's an obvious disregard for the role of the active leader in the saga. It also seemed you disregard the reason they gave for why the son, an adult, chose to be there against her mother's choice. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you are right that we were not there. We only heard very disturbing, insane voice notes from one side, the leadership side, and more accountability than they actually owe us as the public from the other side, the adult child and ex-wife. She wants to reach out and get this to stop for the sake of their children, that the son, an adult, should have been there to support his known to be abused mother, cannot possibly be the only lesson you can get out of this, is it? Because I agree with you that all of this should not be happening at all. But you seem to be disregarding the genesis of the whole saga over the past 2 weeks to the last 6 years at least. Are you? To you, which is the best place to extract lessons, not for the purpose of judgment, taking sides, and fairness, but for the purpose of avoiding this shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't drama in our lives? The cause or the effect? Or from that fingernail brush. PA Adebola, who threw, oh, I misspelled through there, who threw Emeka under the bus? As a response, wife beater. Talk to me. He responds, well, we're both doing Shalaya at this point. But again, I'm the content creator here. I understand what you mean. He replies, I understand what you mean by taking some lessons, but we don't need the courts to stand by fact and fairness. At this point, the saga is open to public debate. Okay, that's what I said, but let's just pretend I didn't say that already. Firstly, Debola didn't throw Emeka under the bus, but clearly stated that the ex-wife became physical and he only came back to take equipment, not to check if she survived. We don't care if he came in to check if he survived or not. We don't care. That wasn't the part we were trying to prove if it's correct or not. As a matter, we're not trying to prove if anything is correct or not. We can just see this behavior and say, this person, avoid them at all costs. This person, go and seek help. You need help because you're trying to control what you're not capable of controlling. This side, you want therapy? Kudos. Yes, therapy, yes. Good idea. Great idea. That's all we care about. We don't care if the school was taken, if it wasn't taken, or I don't care personally. Okay, it clearly looked like the school was taken from the building was taken, not the school, right? But I don't care. I never went to look for the details if the school was actually taken or not. It doesn't. What it looks like to me is a man lost his family and he does not know how to hold himself accountable. There's no way he's totally exonerable or exonerated from whatever caused the demise of that family. It's impossible. So that shoots his credibility in the foot instantly, and it tells me multiply that by 10,000 what he did inside of that marriage before. And we saw some other videos to corroborate that. All right. He goes, secondly, the man boy should have sent a clip of what led to the voice note. No, we don't care. You should never find yourself as a grown man leaving such voice notes. We don't care. I don't care. The real world does not care. The real world, just your own ideology cares about that and is stupid because the real world doesn't care what led to that terrible voice note. That's the reality of life. That's the lesson. Never find yourself in that space where you're leaving such a terrible voice note. What are you going to do with your own temperament? Because temperament means something triggered you. It doesn't mean nothing caused it. It means something always caused everything, right? But when you find yourself in crisis, how do you make sure you don't end up leaving such a terrible voice note? That's the lesson. So no, we don't care about what happened before. You're the only one who cares. You and a couple other people who are weirdos on the internet. Shout out to you. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I need you to get the heat of this. Because this is terrible. You're going to repeat this same shit in your own life. He says, I'm not saying Emeka's words were the best, but the boy should have told us what he said to him before that. But my opinion is he told his dad it's best he's not living anymore, which Emeka read as being blackmailed. He's an incompetent man to read his son saying he doesn't want to leave anymore as blackmail. That's an incompetent man. That is precisely the whole point of my live streams. When you're incompetent, crisis will happen to you. You will blame the crisis as opposed to your ability, your incapability to be able to handle the crisis. As a man, especially, let me just say, as a leader of any context, it's your responsibility to handle conflict and crisis. You don't get to blame the conflict and the crisis. That is stupid. You will get fired at a regular job. I still don't think it takes up to 10 years to become physical against one's partner. People like that start from the onset. She went through uni to masters. No, he added that so it can sound good. It's terrible. She went through uni and to masters and became a school proprietor under their roof. They completed her mom's house and she had access to finance, so I don't buy her claims of different forms of abuse. Even this paragraph, I'm interpreting it as you're abusing her. So what's your point? So how much more what Emeka Ike did? So it just, abuse is it's a moving target. If the person feels abused, you need to check yourself. You need to say, hey, why is it that this person that I call my wife is feeling abused? You don't sit down there and say, but that's not really abuse. That's stupid. You're actually perpetuating the problem. That is stupid. So I got tired at that point, because I don't explain tired. I said, what did you personally learn from all this? What did you personally learn from all this? He said, no matter what you do, this is his lesson. No matter what you do for your partner, they will leave you. If it's what they want to do, be guided and protect yourself in any situation. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. When people move from a place of fear, that's why they follow that same lane of thought, as opposed to from a place of faith. Your life is about fear and faith. Some of us choose to see the half glass full. Some people choose to see it half glass empty, in which case they quote unquote go into the situation all defensive, which means they will attract what they fear the most. It might not look exactly what they're seeing, but it's essentially what they're fearing. They will create it. Okay. So I now said, so basically you will teach your kids to go and marry someone's son and daughter just to be playing defense. Are you aware there is literally no game can be won in life? There's no game that can be won in life by strictly playing defense with no offense skills. I think sex and marriage are scams for you. Don't do it. That's a warning. Please, I beg of you. And then he goes, be careful. I hear this all the time, by the way. Being careful and protective of yourself doesn't mean being defensive always or playing games. I never said playing games. Okay, I actually want him to see this as a game that he needs to learn the skill and how to play offense, meaning how to get your partner on your team and play against these forces of evil. But he can see that. Again, I'm explaining tired right now, but hopefully you guys can pick it up. Okay. He said, being careful and protective of yourself doesn't mean being defensive always or playing games. It's all about you to take every precaution. It doesn't mean being defensive always, but take every precaution. We're talking about romantic relationships now. Okay. Take every precaution before getting into any relationship. Don't take anything for granted, because marriage is sweet and divorce is bitter. Can you read between the lines? Okay, that's what he asked me to do, right? This is a person who is operating from a place of fear. Okay. If we have to put in so much effort for you to have some faith in a relationship you're about to get into, it's probably just bad. It's going to turn out bad. Okay. If we have to put in effort for you to calm down, let's make sure that you go through some premarital counseling. That is a place you need to be. That means that you're so in love, right? And we have to tell you, like, bro, go to premarital. I know you're good and everything is good, everything looks beautiful, but go to premarital counseling. It's better to be on that side. If you're on the other side, it's bad though. You will create what you fear the most. That's how the human mind works. I'm telling you. You will create what you fear the most. I'm warning you. Okay. The whole idea is to kind of forget that anything can hurt you. Kind of, sort of. Right? That's the experience. That's when you're having the experience. But you have enough loved ones around you to say, hey, calm down. This guy is weary. Right? Hopefully you have enough people in your circle that can see some things you might not be able to see. Right? But if all you're doing is playing defense, or you're quote unquote, I need to see all the precaution, and all of this is outside of you as a being, you will collect, because you will create it. You will see the red everywhere. I'm just warning you right now. Number one red flag is out. Make sure you pick up your version and leave me a review. Thank you. So he says, it's all about you taking every precaution before getting into any relationship. Don't take anything for granted, because marriage is sweet and divorce is bitter. As we see from this example, people will take sides depending on their understanding. Make sure you date long enough to know them reasonably. Test them and make sure trust is earned. Everything he said is correct on paper. The only thing is that I have some context where the conversation is coming from, right? And reality will actually show you more context. Will this play out for him in real life? Right? Gotta be careful. Got to be careful. The best way to protect yourself is to work on yourself. Work on yourself. Stop trying to take precaution or police other human beings that might have romantic interest in you. You will hurt that relationship. You will not be able to recognize love when you see one. That's what it translates to. Okay? So I now answer, I say yes. Those are common sense advice. They tend to fall short in the real world. Just keep coming back, bro. All right, so I like to be nice. I like to be nice as much as possible, but sometimes I need to hit it for what it is, right? But these are the issues that you're seeing in a lot of the advices out there. Yeah. Let me see what you guys are talking about here. Yeah. This say I recognize the African parent's eye. I did roll my eyes. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Not to say leave those kids alone. They are not disturbing us. So, wait. Before you know it, they will get close enough. They will disturb us. You have to catch it when it's like getting closer and closer. Daddy, what are you saying to the camera? Let's play FIFA. Yeah, let's see. Abiopa Sono. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care. I didn't want to jump to the page where I played the don't care, so I don't lose the comment again. No, we don't care about any of that stuff.
Don't care, still don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
We don't care. In Stephen A. Smith's voice, we don't care. God forbid my child says something like that. Therapy is straight. My next action will not be tell him to go do it. Can you imagine? Oh yeah, but our grandmother did what? Grandmother was wrong. Wow. So that's his lesson learned. That's it. To protect himself at all costs from I don't know if that guy is a guy, but I think it's a guy. From the Oberlin. He's going to protect himself by protecting himself. What's the point? Just stay away from sex and marriage altogether. There's no point, I wasn't surprised too, because you could tell from the beginning. I can tell that he has collected personally one way or the other. If we ask them who hurt you now, they will say, why are you asking who hurt you? Because nigga, you sound like you're hurt. Jesus Christ. My guy, my argumentative, you're capping, nothing is guaranteed. That's life. Exactly. Which is why your best point of leverage is working on yourself. Because when you work on yourself, your energy simply won't tolerate nonsense. Most nonsense. Because nothing is still guaranteed. But a lot of the nonsense can be avoided when you work on yourself. When you work on yourself, you tend to have certain types of people in your circle. And you tend to have certain types of people in your circle, and certain types of people can't tolerate being in your circle. I have a lot of shout out to all you brothers watching my Andersons. A lot of them watching, okay, but they also, I think they might be a little intimidated. If you're not intimidated, come to the chats. Come and chat, okay? Honestly, I just want us to learn, okay? Ask Brother Ben. Ask even Brother Olaki Dola. Ask they come in and chat every now and then. We can have a conversation, okay? But if I catch you with any kind of lame argument, I will call it out, because I don't want you to repeat an Emeka Ike in your own life. I don't want you to repeat a Yul Edochie in your own life, okay? I don't want you to repeat those people in your own life. That's all I am saying, okay? So sometimes I might call that shit out as hard as possible because that's the language you tend to understand sometimes. If it was up to me, I'll be as nice as possible. But, she says she, I haven't seen she in a long time. But, again, certain type of energy, they hang around certain types of energy, and it is what it is. And some people, you have to collect wutu before they see what I'm saying. They need to hit rock bottom before they see what I'm saying. Speaking of, I don't want you to be a Yule Dochie. You will hurt yourself in the process. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.